Hey, my MTS crew.
Hey,
Thank you for dropping in. If you would do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe this video, we would really appreciate it. It won't
yes,
cost you nothing, but you know what? I love and we thank you. Y'all, we're doing bread pudding today. It's just a simple bread pudding. And
yes,
we hope you enjoy it. We're going to go ahead and get into it. But first, we're going to pray. Father God, we just thank you for the food that you provided for us
thank you,
today.
God.
And bless the cooks. You
Yes,
know, bless my family that's going to
yes,
receive this food. And God, bless my MTS crew and bless them, Father God, and keep them right now in a time of need. Let
yes,
cooking be fun, games be fun. Just
yes,
make fun for your family because you can only remember, you can't get memories back.
yes, yes.
So, just let's enjoy this, and it's going to be real quick. And I'm going to make my bread pudding with real rum raisin sauce. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, y'all, let's do this. Hold the camera up a little bit. Okay, y'all. What I started with already, I went ahead and did this, is carnation milk. I used 2 cans of carnation milk, and I added water to each can, and I used 1 cup of whole milk. Now, you don't have to use the whole milk. You can just use the carnation milk, but I always put a little whole milk in mine. So what this is, 2 cans of carnation milk with water for each can, and then 1 can of whole milk, okay? So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to add is my eggs. Okay, eggs. The second thing I had that was three. Hold on, back. That was back. That was 3 eggs in there, and this is 1 cup of sugar. So we're gonna add 1 cup of sugar. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of vanilla flavor. Use the pure vanilla flavor if you can. Okay. Honey, would you give me the butter that I melted out of the microwave? And this is how I've seen my mother make her bread pudding. Yeah, he's gonna get me the butter. I thought we had the butter over here, but we didn't. Thank you. Okay. And we're gonna use 1 whole stick of real butter, not margarine. Okay. Then we're gonna beat this on a low speed until we get all of that mixed in together. I'm gonna need a spoon to taste it. Mix it well, y'all. Okay, y'all. You know what I did? I decided, because I like to taste my mixture, and it all depends on how much bread you're making. So I decided to do another 1/2 cup of sugar in there. okay? And I got half of a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. Crushed pineapple. We're gonna add that in there, okay? Now we're gonna beat again. Let me see. And just stirring all that goodness in there. Make sure it's all in there. Okay, I'm going to push this to the side for a moment. Now, I have some toasted bread. I like to toast my bread. You're really supposed to, a lot of people use stale bread, but we didn't have any stale bread, so if you got bread, you can toast it. So I added some biscuits, and we had some Hawaiian rolls, so I toasted those. Okay, we're gonna add that to the mixture. I mean to the plate, not to the mixture. Okay. We're going to spread this out. We're going to spread this out. Y'all look over the phone. I forgot to turn my notifications on, but that's okay. And I got it. This is how I have it. Spread it out, and I put my raisins on top. And I'm going to add my pecans. Okay, y'all. I put pecan pieces. They're already chopped up. So I put a few pecan pieces on top of my bread pudding. And you can put as many raisins as you want. Okay. Then I'm going to make 2 of them, so I'll probably end up using half of this. So just make sure it's stirred up in there. So let's do it with this cup, okay? Okay, and just pour this mixture over there with your pineapples. Can you see that? I didn't want to overflow this pan. I didn't know how much it would take, but looks like it's going to take just about all of it. Okay. Okay. Then you take and you push your bread down in there like that. Make sure that all your bread is down in there so your bread can absorb. You can hold it up so your bread can absorb all of your good juices. really like a custard. So make sure your bread and you got your pineapples and raisins and nuts in there. And if you want to add a few more raisins, you are welcome to. Okay? So while this is in the oven, I'm going to bake this in the oven at 352 degrees for about maybe 45 minutes or until it's done. You can tell when it's done. You can stick a knife in the middle of it, and if it comes out smooth or clean, just like a cake, it's ready. So we're going to let this bread sit for a minute and get all of those good juices and flavoring in there, and then I'll be back and I'm going to show you how I make my rum raisin sauce with pineapple, rum, and raisin. Okay, be right back, y'all. Okay, y'all, we getting ready to make the rum sauce. I'm gonna make it, and then I'm gonna go over to the stove, and then I'm gonna let it cook slowly. And what I did was I added some more raisins. Oh, those are, well, I added some pecans too, because we're gonna use the pecans too. The raisins, hold on one second. It's okay. Well, I have a few raisins in here, and we're gonna add some more raisins in here. So we got raisins and pecans in there. We're gonna add some vanilla flavor, teaspoonful. We're gonna add some brown sugar. Four tablespoons full of brown sugar. We're gonna add pineapple juice from that crushed pineapple. We're gonna add pineapple juice. Just crushed pineapple it's hard to get the juice off of it. So a lot of people just buy the whole pineapples, and so they'll have most of the juice. But I use some of the pineapples in my sauce also. Okay. 1 stick of butter. Okay. We're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. I got water in this of cornstarch. Kind of stir that up. And we're going to put this on and let it cook. And I'm going to use a 1/2 bottle of this rum. We want some good sauce. That's about it's not a 1/2 cup of rum, and pour that in there, and we use the Bacardi rum brown. Okay, so we got our cornstarch, our brown sugar, our nuts, our pineapple, our raisins, our rum, and brown sugar. So we're gonna stir this up, and we're gonna take it to the stove and let this heat up. And when this heats up, it's gonna get thick, and this is the sauce that we're gonna put over our bread pudding. This is rum raisin sauce. Be back when the pudding comes out the stove, okay? Hey y'all, I'm back, and I'm done with the, where's your back on? I'm done with the bread pudding. We got it out of the stove. It's still warm, and I like to serve mine when it's gets cold, it does better. But for the sake of hurrying up with this video, I went ahead and I dished some up, and I'm going to show you how my rum raisin sauce came out. But this is the finished product on the bread pudding. I took some out of it already. But this is how it looks. And it's got raisins, pineapples in here, and it's very flavorful, very good. A good recipe. This is my mom's recipe, and we're going to do some rum raisin sauce. Okay, rum raisin sauce. Always let your bread pudding sit up a while. Okay, there is your rum. That smells good. You can smell it. That is bread pudding with rum raisin sauce. Very good. And the sauce is really good. And I'm going to call this sauce grown folk sauce. Now, on the sauce for this bread pudding, I would say if you're going to feed this to children, I would say don't use the rum. Maybe add more of your pineapple juice in there, and I think that that would be okay. But this this sauce calls for a lot of rum, so it's a lot of rum in this. And as you know, if you cook, that liquor evaporate as you cook it. So even though I put a lot of rum in there and I only needed to cook for about 5 or 10 minutes, some of the alcohol evaporated. So it's really not as much alcohol in here as it seems when I put it in there. So let's get ready to taste this and see how it tastes, and be right back. Are you ready to taste this bread pudding?
I sure am.
You ready to taste it? Oh, you know what? I throwed a few strawberries in that sauce. So, and remember, as your bread pudding set up, it becomes, it gets more stiffer. But this just came out of the oven, and I like for my pudding to settle, okay? And then if it settles, you'll be able to cut it.
It smells good.
It smells good.
Yes.
It's got a rich aroma. It is really good.
Yes.
You want to get your bread pudding, sister, and just taste it.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
This is delicious. I love it.
I think a warm scoop of ice cream.
Yes.
On the side.
Yes.
It's really good. With that sauce. The rum is not overpowering. And at the end of cooking your sauce, cut you up a few strawberries in there.
Well
Good.
Love it.
I'm going to eat some more. This sauce is good.
You tell when people eat because they get quiet. You don't say a word. Delicious.
So this is we're going to call it, this is the grown people version.
Yes.
Version of this. So like I say, when you get ready to give this to your children or make it for your children, just don't use the rum, and add a little bit more pineapples or pineapple juice in there to make your sauce. I'll put that down below. But you enjoy this like we are.
Yes.
This is breaking all diets here. Strawberry. And it's got the nuts. It's got nuts in here.
Pineapple.
Really rich.
Rich in flavor.
The rum is delicious.
Mm-hmm. Good.
My rum raisin sauce with my bread pudding. We appreciate y'all. I'm going to finish enjoying mine.
Yes.
I'm going to call my husband in here. He can't eat much of this. I'm going to call him in here and let him try some. He's had my bread pudding before with the rum raisin sauce. And it's very flavorful, and the nuts and the raisins give it just a good flavor. You know, you can taste the cinnamon, you can taste the vanilla, you can taste the rum, you can taste all of those flavors that's in there. And remember, when you first take it out of the stove, I would suggest don't serve it then. Let it sit up for about an hour or so. But we wanted to go ahead and show you this bread pudding.
So delicious.
I'm not bragging on myself.
It's good.
But that's good.
Yes.
Okay. We'll see you later. God bless.